welcome back to our channel. Today, we're going to discuss one of Disney's most iconic and controversial characters, Cruella. Let's get started and dive into the fascinating story of Cruella. What makes Cruella character different in Cruella 2021 films and 101 Dalmatian films? The difference lies in how the character is portrayed to the audience. When we watch 101 Dalmatian as a children, Cruella was portrayed as a cruel villain who was obsessed with making a code from Dalmatian peaceful. As a result, the audience only saw her evil side without knowing the reason behind her behavior. However, in Cruella 2021, Disney presents a different perspective. The audience is shown Estella background from childhood. She is portrayed as a creative and rebellious girl with distinct black and white hair that makes her different from other children. From a young age, she also showed a strong passion and talent for fashion. After losing her mother, Estella struggled to survive in London and eventually works as a cleaning assistant in fashion store. Her talent later caught the attention of Baroness, a famous fashion designer, who promotes her to become one of her trusted employees. The conflict began when Estella discovered the Baroness is responsible for her mother's death. At this point, the audience realized that Cruella actions do not come out of nowhere. Disney provides a clear background and motivation, making her character much more complex. This change is important because Disney makes Cruella feel more human and relatable to modern audience. Viewer can connect with her experience of loss, hardship, and struggle. Although they may not agree with all of her actions, they can understand the pain, trauma, and difficult life experiences that shaped her into the person she became. Therefore, Cruella is no longer seen as just a villain, but as a character whose personality and choices are influenced by her life experiences and personal struggle.
So, how does Estella transform into Cruella? At the beginning of the movie, Estella is a young woman who loves fashion and dreams of becoming a designer. She is creative and talented, but she often hides her bold and rebellious personality. As the story goes on, Estella discovers shocking truths about her past, especially involving the Baroness, a famous fashion designer. These discoveries change the way she sees herself and the people around her. Because of this, Estella starts becoming Cruella, a more confident, fearless, and daring version of herself. So, what drives her transformation? It's mainly because her past difficulty, her ambition to success, and her desire to stop hiding who she really is.
It's not, Estella. That's the past. I'm Cruella.
Is it rebellion or self-discovery? Actually, it's both. Cruella is a way for Estella to stand up against people who try to control her. At the same time, it's her journey to understand and accept her true identity. In the end, Cruella isn't someone completely different. She is Estella finally being herself. And that's what makes her transformation so interesting to watch.
Let's move to the next discussion. The world always tells us, be yourself. But the second you actually do it, different hair, different style, even different opinions, people start to stare at you. They whisper and suddenly you're the problem. So why does being different always feel like doing something wrong? Today we are breaking that down through Disney's Cruella. And the answer might surprise you. Stella was born with half black, half white hair. To us, it looks amazing, but to everyone around her, it was a red flag before she even did anything. Instead of celebrating what makes someone unique, it's just easier to call them a problem. So, Estella does what most of us do. She puts on a mask, dyes her hair, acts normal, takes a job she hates just to fit in. And what does she get for it? She gets ignored. She becomes invisible. Sound familiar? How many times have you hidden your real opinions, your taste, even your personality, just to avoid being called weird? This film shows us something real. When you keep forcing yourself into a box that was made for you, you don't become better. You just disappear. But then Cruella wakes up. The moment she stops hiding and fully owns who she is, her boldness, her style, her age, everything changes. She doesn't just enter the fashion world, she takes it over. Normal is comfortable, but different, different change the world. So, what's that one weird thing about you that you are low-key proud of? Drop it in the comment.
Let's move on the top findings that we found, especially in Cruella 2021. The Disney present a portrait of women that is very different from the traditional standard that is usually found in their film or any other film. And traditionally, female characters in the Disney film are often itself or represented as gentle, kind, and not overly ambitious. However, guys, Cruella clearly challenges this pattern because Cruella in this film is not portrayed as a submissive or consistently gentle woman. In this film, in the Cruella 2021, from the beginning, Estella is shown as a child who is different, brave, and outspoken, and it is strongly wild. Because of this trait, she is often labeled as a woman who is troublesome by the people around her. And as she grows older, Cruella does not hide her ambitions because she wants to be recognized, to success, and to stand above the others. In many classic Disney films, ambition like this often portrayed as a negative thing or negatively when it belongs to a female character. However, in Cruella, ambition is presented as a strength rather than a weakness. And I can give you one of the sample. The clearest example of this can be seen in how Cruella expresses herself through fashions, because fashion in this film is not only merely is a fitting or visual style, but it becomes a way for Cruella to demonstrate the confidence and resistance, particularly against the Baroness. And also, Cruella does not change herself to gain acceptance. Instead of that, she chooses to stand out, to be different, and to boldly take up the space. Because of the character of Cruella, the film conveyed the message that women are always ambitious, brave, and different without being automatically labeled as a villain simply because they do not fit.
So guys, have you ever been called too much just because you are different from everyone else? Well, that's exactly what happened to Estella in Cruella. And honestly, I think that's the biggest lesson from the entire movie. For me, Cruella isn't really about a villain. It's about someone who's constantly told that she's weird, difficult, and doesn't fit in. Since she was a kid, Estella had to hide parts of herself just to be accepted by others. and I think a lot of us can relate to that. What makes Cruella's journey interesting is that she eventually stopped trying to fit into everyone's expectations. Instead, she embraced who she really is. She turns her differences into her biggest strength. Her creativity, confidence, and bold personality are the exact things that make her stand out. The movie also gives us an important reminder. Being yourself doesn't mean you can do whatever you want without consequences. The point isn't to become Cruella. The point is to learn from her confidence and determination while still making good decisions. So, if there is one thing I took away from this movie is, don't be afraid to be different. The things that make you feel out of place today might be the things that make you unforgettable tomorrow. And honestly, in a world where everyone is trying so hard to fit in, maybe being different is actually your superpower. Overall, I'd give Cruella a solid 9 out of 10. The story is engaging. The fashion is absolutely iconic, and Emma Stone's performance makes the character unforgettable. But that's just my opinion. What about you guys? If you have watched Cruella, what rating would you give it out of 10? Do you think Cruella is a villain, a hero, or maybe something in between? Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching and see you in the next review.